Happy Monday. Welcome to the 734. I'm Jason DeRusha. So glad to have you with us. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Had some nice time to spend outside, sweating. So much sweating this weekend. Can you guys hear this behind me? It is pouring. My gosh. Absolutely amazing. I think we have a live picture. Oh, that tells the story, doesn't it? Just can't see anything. It is that dark in downtown. Don't we have a button we can push that makes like the windshield wiper go? I thought we had no button. Back in the day we used to have a button. Probably budget cuts. We lost the wiper. Oh, there it is. See? There you go. That was fun. It's pouring here in downtown Minneapolis, and we're going to have one of these weird days, right? You might have some isolated showers in the morning, like we're seeing right now in downtown Minneapolis, headed towards downtown St. Paul at 7:35. But then later this afternoon, that's when we see maybe a little more widespread storm chances. So meteorologist Riley O'Connor is going to be watching this all day. But this is the pattern we'll see throughout much of the first half of this week. So that's your 7:30 forecast. Super, super stupid hot again. 87 the high temperature. So when these storms clear out, well, heck, it's already like almost 80. What is the temperature right now? 76? It's been a warm morning, so it's warm out there. You're going to be wet, so just be ready for that and be ready for it over the next couple of days. Let's talk about this. I just love this to start the week off. Some new research showing that pets may be good for your health and especially good for your kids' health. Australian researchers looked at data from 1,600 homes with children who were 2 years old, 3, 4, or 5. And they found children who had a dog had better social and emotional well-being than children who didn't own a dog. So I wanted to ask you about that bond this morning. Share a special moment between your child and your pet, maybe between you and a pet. Do you see a benefit in younger children? I mean, obviously 2 to 5-year-olds, there's no responsibility there, right? Like that was always the promise of a pet. For like a teenager, you'll learn some responsibility. For a little kid, I don't know. I think it's just that companionship and learning how to care for someone else, even when that someone is a dog. So share those thoughts. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. You can post pictures too. We love to see pictures of your dogs. Let's update you on some of the news headlines this morning. Another night of gun violence in Minneapolis. The latest victim, a pregnant woman who police say was shot inside a car last night. So for reference, this shooting happened just a couple of blocks away from Cup Foods, where George Floyd died. Officers responded around 9:15 last night. They say the woman was in a car when she was shot. They took her to HCMC. Doctors delivered her baby, and she died. We don't know the baby's condition this morning. A lot of questions about exactly what happened here, but that's about all we know so far. This coming after another long weekend of violence. On Saturday night, it was a 17-year-old boy shot in North Minneapolis, a fight between neighbors ending with a stabbing also in North Minneapolis, and a late-night shooting injuring 4 people in Brooklyn Park, also on the 4th of July. Everyone injured in all 3 of those incidents. Everybody expected to survive. Today does mark 4 years since a former police officer shot and killed Philando Castile during a traffic stop in Falcon Heights. At the time, Castile told the officer he was legally carrying a gun. There's a march planned outside the governor's residence to mark that day. A vigil as well scheduled to take place at 8 p.m. at Philando Castile's memorial in Falcon Heights. But today, changes will be announced to the Minnesota Driver's Manual. This has really been quite an effort by Philando Castile's mother, who has been working so hard to change the way police do their business here in Minnesota. So Castile's mother, Valerie, will be joining the State Department of Public Safety today to announce some of these changes to the driver's manual for drivers who are legally entitled to carry firearms. And those include guidance on what drivers should and should not do during a traffic stop. And they also come with guidelines and expectations from law enforcement. So look forward to seeing what they came up with, but a real positive development there. And we all owe Valerie Castile a debt of gratitude. What an effort by her through her grief to try to make a positive change here in Minnesota. Broadway actor Nick Cordero has died from COVID-19 complications. Maybe you've been following his battle against coronavirus. Originally from Canada, he's been in an LA hospital for 3 months. What a career. In 2014, he was nominated for a Tony for his performance Bullets Over Broadway, that musical. His wife, Amanda Klutz, wrote he was surrounded and loved by his family. They were singing and praying as he gently left this earth. Nick Cordero, just 41. So many warnings about COVID-19 dangers, right? And this weekend, we knew that people were going to come together and be outside. Lake Minnetonka, popular spot this weekend, so boaters we talked with didn't seem too concerned about the pandemic.
We're young and healthy, so it's okay. We can have a good time.
I've been out there every single weekend for the last 4 or 5 weeks. No masks, no social distancing.
Officials have voiced concerns over the popular lake getting too crowded, especially after the situation last year. More than 100 people got sick boating at Big Island last year, and they were asking people not to tie up, and we saw boats tied up. The 20 to 29-year-old age group is the hot spot right now. More people in that age group have been infected with COVID-19 than any other age group. But I hesitate to shame these people because the reality is we don't really know about transmission outside in groups. I guess we'll know in a couple weeks if there was a spike. We certainly saw with protests, although I think a lot more protesters seem to be wearing masks than what we're seeing with this 4th of July celebrations. Here's the Wisconsin Dells. Nobody wearing a mask. You're in a pool. Very popular. Bars are shut down in that area, so really people outside. Noah's Ark is the water park. Perhaps you've been there before on Saturday. It looks crowded, but the park was actually operating at 35% capacity. Mona Lisa back in business. The Louvre in Paris reopened to guests. It was shut down for 4 months because of coronavirus. Face masks, you can see everybody wearing them. It's a must. Visitor numbers are limited with reservations required. A restaurant in Blaine honoring hometown heroes as it reopens today for the first time since the pandemic. The nonprofit Sticks and Stones in Fogarty Arena plans to open today. They're going to be following all the guidelines, the Stay Safe Minnesota guidelines. And they tell us they're offering a free drive-up meal to first responders in Blaine and Spring Lake Park. So from 2 to 7 today, they can stop by for grilled burgers, get your brats, your dogs, your chips, your beverages, all on the house. So from 2 to 7. Pretty cool effort there in Blaine. All right, let's talk about Kanye. Did you hear Kanye's running for president? Maybe. We don't really know, right? Kanye West certainly lighting up the internet this weekend. He tweeted he's running. He's in. I mean, I could tweet this and you'd all know it's a bunch of nonsense. But Kanye has been very vocal. He's a fascinating, you could say he's a visionary. I think that's not overstating what Kanye's importance has been to the culture in this country, to music. I think he's a fascinating guy. I don't know if he really is running for president or if he's trying to release an album, which I would call 2020 Vision, since that's the hashtag on this tweet. But we'll see. Maybe he's really running. He is going to have to hurry up to try to get on the ballot in all the states this fall. Garth Brooks going live from his home studio for the second time during the pandemic. His first studio concert with wife Trisha Yearwood became a special on CBS. Country megastar streaming another acoustic concert tomorrow night. Fans can make their request, and that was part of the really charming aspect of this first concert, where fans would make requests, not just Garth songs either, or Trisha songs. They would play all sorts of stuff, which was pretty cool. All right, we're talking about dogs, the impact of a dog on a kid. We asked you for your feedback, and here are some of the comments that we've seen on the WCCO Facebook page. Becca says, my son and my dog are like siblings. They really love each other. They also get really irritated with each other. My son has learned how to be gentle when he pets the dog. That's an interesting lesson there, Becca. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Here's Laura Ariano saying, having my daughter's feeling better and less depressed. It's made an impact. Laura, thank you. Here's Sarah Jean Kooiman Olson, both by boys, were around indoor cats all their lives. They're both very gentle with animals. I think they learned about caring for animals that were dependent on them, and they get so much love in return. That's pretty cool. To this day, when the grown adult boys come home, the cats swarm them. Very cool. I think animals know, right? Like, animals have this sense around whether you're a good person or not. And I think animals know. Animals know. So there you go. That's it for us. I think this went pretty well, Riley. I don't think I said anything that should be offensive. I guess I'm not trying hard enough. I'll work harder on this tomorrow. I'll try to make somebody mad. Thanks for watching the 734, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.